President Trump held a campaign-style rally in Phoenix last night, touching on several hot-button issues, from Charlottesville to immigration to health care. Outside the event, protests were intense. Police used a handful of non-lethal tools, including gas, to help disperse the crowds. Nikki Batiste has more.
Police officers in riot gear used tear gas and flashbangs to break up protests outside President Trump's rally in Phoenix, Arizona. Inside the city's convention center, the president spent the majority of his time claiming the media is responsible for dividing the nation in the aftermath of violence in Charlottesville, Virginia, insisting it twisted his words.
It's time to expose the crooked media deceptions and to challenge the media for their role in fomenting divisions.
Among the several other subjects the president touched upon, the need to reform immigration. He also again insisted a wall on the Mexican border will be built.
Believe me, if we have to close down our government, we're building that wall.
On health care, Mr. Trump said he made a promise not to mention any names, alluding to Arizona Republican Senator John McCain. He was one of 3 Senate Republicans to cross party lines and shoot down the new health care bill with his last-minute thumbs-down vote.
We are going to get rid of Obamacare. I will never stop. One vote! I will never stop.
President Trump also committed to passing the biggest tax cut in American history and alluded to a pardon for controversial former Arizona Sheriff Joe Arpaio, convicted last month of ignoring a federal judge's order to stop detaining people because he suspected them of being undocumented immigrants. Nikki Batiste for CBS News.
The president also said he respects the fact that North Korean President Kim Jong-un seems to now respect the U.S. and that he's hopeful that, quote, maybe something positive can come about. Also making national headlines this morning as the search continues for sailors missing in the crash of the USS John S. McCain. The Navy is relieving the commander of the U.S. 7th Fleet in Japan, Vice Admiral Joseph Aucoin, for, quote, loss of confidence. There have been 4 accidents involving naval warships under his watch this year, 2 of which, the USS Fitzgerald and the McCain, were deadly. And tonight is the drawing for the second largest Powerball jackpot in U.S. history. The top prize has soared to an estimated $700 million. The odds of winning, 1 in 292 million. In state news, another round of belt tightening could be in the works for state government agencies in Helena. The Bullock administration has asked state agencies to identify another 5% in additional budget cuts. State agencies were asked to submit possible cuts to the governor's office by last Friday. The governor's office says the request falls under a law that allows the budget director to ask agencies to submit plans to operate on 95% of their budget. State law also allows the governor to cut state agency budgets up to 10% if revenue falls below a certain point. Any cuts would be on top of the $70 million in budget reductions, which are already in place for the next 2 years. Those cuts were triggered when a June 30th tax revenue target wasn't met. And Helena City leaders are now defending the process they took to remove the Confederate Memorial Fountain in Hill Park. The Helena City Commission has adopted an emergency ordinance to suspend the city historic preservation rules for the fountain. The fountain was a contributing structure to the Helena Historic District, so it would normally have to undergo a review process of up to 60 days before removal. City Manager Ron Alice says the city does not have to go through the demolition review process for properties it owns. He said commissioners wanted to remove the fountain quickly to prevent the possibility of conflict around it, and the emergency ordinance was a way to formalize that intention.
It puts closure on the event. The decision was made, it was documented, the fountain's removed, and it's time for us to move on.
The commission announced its intention to remove the fountain during an administrative meeting last week. In other news, the former Laurel educator who was suspended for sending partially nude photos to a student is speaking out. Sarah Sheldon resigned from her position as assistant middle school principal in December after the photos surfaced at the school. Sheldon apologized for her mistake, one she said she's paying for with a, quote, public crucifixion. Her statement reads in part, quote, "I made a mistake for which I have had profound consequences, loss of professional reputation, career, income, and humiliation and embarrassment for me and my family." Education officials suspended her license last month after learning Sheldon sent inappropriate photos to a 17-year-old boy. Back here in Billings, if you're looking for a new home, you may find it in a new subdivision planned for South Billings. Annafeld is the next master planned community from McCall Homes after the company completed nearly 500 homes in neighboring subdivision Josephine Crossing. Single-family homes, townhomes, cottages, and multi-generational home options will all be available in the first phase. The goal is to provide a self-sustaining community to complete with gardens, shops, and restaurants. Annafeld will be twice the size of Josephine Crossing.
The mission is to build community and empower people. And so with Annafeld, we want to build an entire community, a sustainable community, and one for everyone. We realize it takes all walks of life, at all different stages of life, to really make a true community something special. And so that's what we hope that Annafeld will become.
Rental opportunities will also be available. Its name is after the Walter family's daughter, Anna. The Walters had farmed the land for years. Feld is a German word for field. You can find out more about the development plans and events at ktvq.com right now. Meanwhile, Montana Fair provided to be another successful year, although attendance was down slightly from last year's record-breaking year. More than 223,000 fairgoers came through the gates for the 9-day event. That's down less than 3,000 from 2016. Officials say food was ahead of its 4-year average, while carnival profits were slightly off. One of the issues was night show entertainment did not generate as much buzz as previous years, and fair officials note it may be attributed to recent and upcoming shows, leaving less funds for people to spend on other acts. Now we take you to Yellowstone National Park, where traffic congestion got so bad in the park on Tuesday that extra workers were assigned to help manage the traffic at Madison Junction. The traffic was so heavy in the Old Faithful and West Thumb areas that motorists on the Grand Loop Road were not being allowed to enter Old Faithful or the West Thumb Geyser Basin parking areas due to a lack of available parking. Park spokesman Jonathan Schaefer says Monday's eclipse may have something to do with the large volume of park visitors, but August is also one of the busiest times of the year in the park.
There have definitely been a lot of people coming into the park today. August is usually a busy month in Yellowstone. Statistically speaking, it's usually the second busiest, but we are experiencing heavier than usual traffic volumes, and that's leading to delays on a number of park roads.
Schaefer advises visitors to pack their patience if they're heading to Yellowstone this week.